Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio, our 4-year mission, studying the Psalms verse by verse, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And friends, we're coming up on the end of 4 years, so our first go-around, studying the Psalms verse by verse, we're about done. We're looking now at verses 1, we're in Psalm 148, looking at verse 6 today. Oh my goodness, verse 6. This is a grand verse. Let me read that for you from my translation. So he caused them to endure forever and ever. He gave an ordinance that they should not pass away. Now that's my translation, and I'm going to argue against my own translation today, I think. So we're going to look at verse 6 here. He caused them to endure is the way I translated this. The word that I've translated to endure means that he caused them to stand. I think the King James, let me check the King James translation here. In verse 6, he says he hath also established them forever and ever. That's a good translation. It means to make to stand, so it's permanence. That's why I translated endure, because the causative verb plus the phrase ever and ever, or now and forever, or now into eternity. So this timeless unit, that attaches itself to the standing. That's why I translate this word endure. He causes it to last. It's lasting. There's another way we could translate it. So he causes them, or it, maybe a better there's the them there, the pronoun. He causes them to endure or to last or to be established forever and ever. He gave the command and that they should not transgress. They should not pass away. They should not pass over. Like I say, I'm going to argue against my own translation here. The idea that they're not to cross the line. This word that is translated to pass over, to transgress, to cross over, it's a lot of times and often used with the idea of crossing the Jordan or crossing a stream or crossing a riverbed. You're going across something. You're fording something. Here we have it not as the idea of crossing a river or a stream, but that there's a boundary that's created. And something has been told, you're not going past this. You're not going to cross over it. And it's also in the causative sense. So he gave the command that it would not be caused to pass over. Now, we have to find out what the antecedent to that is, don't we? Well, in the first phrase in verse 6, we have the them. There's the pronoun, but we don't have a proper noun yet. We look back in verse 5, and it says, for he gave the command and they were created. We still don't have a proper noun. Praise his name, praise the name of the Lord. First phrase in 5, not a proper noun. Then we come to the end of 4, and we find out that it is the waters which are above the heavens. So the water above the heaven was given a boundary. Then he's not going to pass over. It is not going to pass over that boundary, and that boundary was the firmament. So he caused them to endure forever and ever. He gave an ordinance that they should not pass, or should not transgress, or they should not cross. It's like when you were a kid, and you took your foot and you drew a line in the dirt, and you said to the guy on the other side of the line, I double dog dare you to cross the line, because you knew if they crossed the line, you was going to slug them, right? So that's what God's done. He's drawn a line, and he said, don't cross this mark. And he said that to the waters. He said that to the waters which were above, and he said that to the waters which were below. There's a boundary. There's an area that the waters are not to go past, and God has commanded that. And we're going to see tomorrow in verse 7, we're going to talk more about the waters and what's in them and how they should praise the Lord as well. So join me then tomorrow. We're going to look at verse 7 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.